So, Hare Krishna, Madhuyis, welcome all of you for this Bhagavad Gita session. So, today we'll be discussing verse number from third chapter 12 and 13. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradayebhyo yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied with the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Go to the 13th verse. Yajna, sorry, one more verse is but the 13th verse is also there. Yajna Shishta Santo Muchyante Sarva Kilbishaihi Bhunjate Te Togham Papa Ye Pachantyatmakaranat. Translation by Divine Geshe Prabhupada ki jai. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyan Namo Vishnu Krishna Vishnu Bhutali Srimad Mahavishnu Swamiti Namne Namo Vishnu Bhakti Vedanta Narusha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Hare Krishna Ram. So Hare Krishna Holy Mother, yes, welcome all of you. Thank you for joining. See in Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, verse number 9 and 49. The demigods, they pray, O unborn one, please enlighten us regarding the ways and means by which we can offer you all enjoyable grains and commodities so that both we and all other living entities in this world can maintain ourselves without disturbance and can easily accumulate the necessities of life both for you and for ourselves. So 3, 5, 49, demigods they pray. So through these prayers, the demigods are teaching us how we should always understand and remember the truth that Krishna is the source of everything. Correct. So in the verse, seed verse of Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna declares, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. He says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So the demigods, who are very highly intelligent, also very good devotees of the Lord, they know the truth, right? So they acknowledge Krishna's exalted position. So they glorify him, seek his blessings, guidance, and mercy so that they can render the universal duties which have been entrusted to them by Krishna in the right spirit. And they also teach the importance of offering everything to Krishna. Now, Prabhupada in the verse purport of 3.5.49, he mentions as to why they are called as demigods. They are called demigods because although their standard of life is far more advanced in culture, enjoyment, luxury, beauty, education, and duration of life, they are always fully Krishna conscious, God conscious. So such demigods are always ready to render service to the Supreme Lord because they are perfectly aware of the fact that everything and every living entity is constitutionally an eternal subordinate servitor of the Lord. They also know that it is the Lord only who can maintain all living entities with all the necessities of life. See, this human body, right, is a very rare chance in the cycle of 84 lakh species of life. In this body, we are gifted with a consciousness higher than animals, birds, and trees. So in this birth, we have the opportunity, right, to revive our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna and then go back to him. But what happens instead, if we are not grateful to Krishna for all that he is doing to us, then we are really great fools. Krishna himself declares, right, in 3.12 and 13. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat sin, only sin. These are the 12 and 13. We saw this in the translation. In fact, in the 3, 5, 14 purport, Prabhupada mentions, see, famine, no, we say famine. Famine is due to not is not due to an increase in population, as less intelligent economists think. See, when the human society is grateful to Krishna for all his gifts for the maintenance of living entities, then there is certainly no scarcity or any or want in society, right? But when men are unaware of this intrinsic value of such gifts from the Lord, surely they are in want. So this is the point to understand. So see, today we see that majority of the population of the world, they prefer to eat outside in restaurants and food joints. Correct? See, in early days, people used to prefer cooking food themselves and eating at home itself. Moreover, food used to be given in charity, and it was not considered to be an item to be sold. But today, there's a drastic change in the mindset of the people. Women prefer to have holiday from cooking every weekend and eat outside in the restaurant. Not about the devotees, huh? Okay. So this is because they don't even enjoy cooking. They cannot relish the process of cooking. We would have seen our mothers and grandmothers, right? Even somebody comes, because those times, nowadays we have to ask appointment to ask people whether they are available, whether they can come and all. Those they just drop in, right? Immediately they cook. And they enjoy it and they really relish, right? So today, every corner has a food joint. While philosophy of life has become eat, drink, and be merry. But one thing is for sure, people get bored pretty soon after having food from the various food courts, right? Then they hunt for new restaurants. And then again, get bored of that also. So why they don't get pleasure? What must be the reason? The reason is they have forgotten Govinda in their life. Not Govinda's restaurant, that's now correct. But the real Govinda, right? See, by thinking about food and eating food, which is not offered to Krishna, they just don't allow Krishna to enter into their lives. Right? No. Krishna is constantly looking upon everyone, right? But we are not looking at Krishna at all. That's why in 3.13, Krishna says, the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Right? And others who prepare food for personal enjoyment, they verily eat only sin. Krishna says, Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi, which means getting relief from all the sins. Now, who would not want to get rid of all the reactions of sins? Everybody wants to, right? See, after all, is that not the reason why so many people, they go to Ganga and take bath to relieve of them from the sins, right? And visit all the pilgrimage places. But by doing this, do they stop sinning more? No. Prabhupada says that people who do not offer food to Lord before eating, they are thieves and sinners. So when we don't offer the food to Krishna, we are like thieves because we eat without any gratitude for what the Lord has provided. We are sinners because we do not offer it to God first, to Krishna first. So how can a thief and a sinner be happy? Person who does not offer food to Krishna before eating, he brings himself and his family all the miseries. My Guru Maharaj always said that performing Mangalarati, chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavatam can help overcome hunger and sleep. And that was so true. See, during our Vyasa Puja days, when we go for Vyasa Puja or Guru Maharaj to Rajkot, in ISKCON Rajkot temple, when we all assemble together, no, we all sit and recite the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we recite, no, we don't feel hungry at all. Maybe we have not taken prasad in the morning also. We still continuously reading. Unbelievable, right? There is this realization. And in Nectar of Instructions, Srila Rupa Goswami instructs that it is good to have only prasadam. Okay, but it is even better to have only as much as required. That was an important point. You have prasadam, but as much as required. Don't, oh, it's prasadam, gulp it more and more. No. Overeating is again a sin. And a devotee should not have prasadam to satisfy his tongue. See, in the American journal, it was published that if the entire world turns vegetarian, then half of the problems of the world will get resolved. But in this verse, Krishna confirms that if the entire world decides to have only prasadam, then all the problems in the world can be solved once and for all. That's why in the Vedas it is stated that Vishnu is Yajna Purusha. So if anyone performs Yajna, sacrifice for the Lord, then all the demigods get satisfied. See, demigods are the limbs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So satisfaction of Lord automatically satisfies his limbs as well. So when the food is offered to Krishna, all the demigods responsible for water, air, light, right? They get satisfied. So thus they bestow the Mother Earth with all the natural resources required. No worry about famine and anything. Everything is abundant. Even meat eaters, right? They have to depend on grains and vegetables because for the animals to eat, then only they can also be sustaining. So vegetation will grow only if there are enough rains. Rains will not come unless respective demigods are pleased. So yajna is required. So here we can see that just offering food will satisfy Krishna, which in turn satisfies the demigods, thereby solving all the problems of food of the entire world. So any action performed without direction of Vedas is vikarma, which bears sinful reactions. So it's a chance for the conditioned souls like us to get liberation from such sinful activities. See, Krishna is self-sufficient. He doesn't need anything from us also. He's never in need of our offering. But for our own self-purification, we should cultivate this habit of offering everything in our life to Krishna. So if you perform this yajna, no, in this Kali Yuga, in this age, as recommended in the Shastras, Sankirtan yajna, then gradually you develop your dormant love for Krishna. Adhokshaja. Yator bhaktir adhokshaja. That is required. Ahaituki apratihata, right? So this development of love of God cannot be checked by any material condition. See, nobody can say, because I am this and that, therefore I cannot perform. This is not a fact. The fact that you can sit down just like the Shad Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? See, they used to, Sadguru Shad Goswamis, they used to live in this Vrindavana underneath the tree. One night in under one tree only. Then next, they just move on. And what they were chanting, beautiful Shad Goswami, one of the verses of Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Krishna Kirtan Gana Nartana Parao Premamritambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsarao Pujitao Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahan Tarakau Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalakau. So this is the first verse in the Shadgosi Mashtaka. He says, no, I offer my respectful obeisance unto 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the ruffians. because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they're all pleasing to everyone, and they're fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in the missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. So this is Sankirtana Kiya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even the foreigners, no, Europeans, Americans, they did not know anything about these things. But how they came about? Because of Prabhupada's giving that seed of bhakti. See, Srila Prabhupada's purpose, no, especially in this 3.12, this verse, 3.12 verse teaches several very profound principles. Let us see what are one by one. Number one, Krishna has established a system of cooperation. The universe is not operating by chance. Krishna has appointed demigods as his administrative officers, right, to manage the material world. For example, Indra controls rainfall, Surya provides sunlight, Vayu controls air, Varuna presides over the water, right? So just as government functions through various departments, no, Krishna administers the material universe through these empowered servants. So this is the first one. Krishna has established a system of cooperation. Second is, Yajna means acting for Krishna's pleasure. So in previous ages, Yajna consisted of very elaborate Vedic sacrifices. So according to Bhagavad Gita, right, in the present age of Kali, the prescribed Yajna is Sankirtana Yajna. The congregational chanting of the holy names of Krishna. That is the recommended sacrifice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when Krishna is satisfied, his servants, the demigods, they also become satisfied automatically. So this is the second point. First was Krishna has established a system of cooperation, right? He has given the departments. So Yajna means acting for Krishna's pleasure. Sankirtan Yajna. Then, no, why is Prabhupada mentioned? No, why a thief? Why is one called a thief? See, everything we possess belongs to Krishna. Do we create sunlight, rain, the soil, air, right? The body's ability to digest food, the life itself. We do not create this. We simply receive these gifts. And if we consume them without gratitude or even acknowledging to the Supreme Proprietor Krishna, we are using another's property without permission. So just as someone who uses another person's wealth, right, without consent, is called a thief. So one who enjoys God's gifts without offering them back is spiritually considered a thief. So this is why, in fact, the 3.11 previous verse and this verse, no, it emphasizes the mutual cooperation through sacrifice. Now, the fourth point, what should we offer? What should we offer? That is, we should offer everything to Krishna. Most importantly, food is cooked for Krishna, offered with devotion, then accepted as prasadam. Most important, this one. So this connects directly, with the next verse, 3.13. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. See, others who prepare food, personal enjoyment, they are eating sin. So devotees do not worship individual demigods separately for material benefits. By worshipping Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the demigods are automatically worshipped. Just as watering the root, it nourishes every branch and leaf of a tree. Right? So what is the practical application today? So this verse teaches us to live with gratitude, right? Rather than entitlement. This is for me only. No. This is that. See, we're fighting for land, right? This country for fighting with others. Oh, this for land. So a devotee can practice this with to live with gratitude rather than enlightenment. By how? Number one, offering every meal, whatever bhoga we have, to Krishna before eating, taken to prasadam. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. Using one's wealth, one's talent, one's time in Krishna's service. Recognizing that every facility in life is Krishna's mercy. And fifth is a very important point. Avoiding the mentality of I earned everything by my own ability. No, Krishna is the ability in man. Right? So these are the devotee can practice it. And the deeper lesson, see verses from 10 to 13. This establishes a fundamental spiritual principle. You know what is that? Nothing truly belongs to us. Everything belongs to Krishna. and we are caretakers rather than proprietors. So when we first offer what we receive back to Krishna with devotion, the same food, wealth, work, possessions, it becomes spiritualized. So when we enjoy them independently for our own sense gratification, then we become bound by karma, right? So Prabhupada is very nicely summarized. Everything should first be offered to Krishna. Everything. Then whatever we accept is prasadam, his mercy, and it is not an act of theft. So in the 13th verse, Prabhupada again gives a very practical and significant spiritual significance. Now, what does offered first for sacrifice mean? Offered first for sacrifice means. So in this age, prescribed sacrifice, yajna, is to prepare food with devotion and offer it to Krishna before eating. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. So once Krishna accepts the offering, the food becomes prasadam, the Lord's mercy. So why are devotees freed from sins? See, even we unintentionally commit sins in daily life. See, it's not that if we are devotees, we are not. See, there are certain sins which is not within our hands, such as killing tiny insects while walking, harming this microorganisms while cooking, using natural resources, right? Unknowingly causing suffering to other living beings, right? So even if we unintentionally commit sins in daily life, such as these things, offering the food to Krishna sanctifies it. By honoring prasadam, one is purified from these unavoidable reactions because the act is no longer for personal enjoyment, but for Krishna's pleasure. So the principle is offer first to Krishna, then accept as his mercy, not as an object of personal enjoyment. Now, what does others eat only sin? We saw, right? What does that mean? Others who eat only sin. So this statement does not mean that ordinary food is physically sinful. No, it doesn't mean everything is sinful. It means that when the food is prepared and eaten solely for one's own sense enjoyment, okay, then one remains responsible for all the karmic reactions involved in producing that food. Because it is only for your sense enjoyment. The mentality is the key. There's a key difference in this mentality. What is the mentality of a devotee? This food belongs to Krishna. Let me cook for his pleasure and accept his mercy. This is a devotee's mentality. What is the mentality of a materialist? This food is for my enjoyment. These are the key differences. So the external food may be identical, but the consciousness behind it transforms the spiritual result. I'll give you a practical example. Imagine two people preparing the same rice, dal, vegetables, chapatis. Person A, he cooks carefully, offers everything to Krishna with devotion, and then honors it as prasadam. Person B cooks the same meal only for personal enjoyment. See, the ingredients are identical, but spiritually, the results are entirely different because one act is devotional service, other is centered on personal sense gratification. So, what is the deeper lesson? So, this verse teaches that spiritual life is not merely about what we eat, right? But for whom we live. So, when we make Krishna the center of our activities, even ordinary acts like cooking and eating becomes yoga. The same principle applies to work, family life, right? And every other activity. When done as an offering to Krishna, they become purifying. That's why Prabhupada has often emphasized a devotee does not eat food. A devotee does not eat food. He honors Krishna prasadam. So when we are having prasadam, means actually we are honoring. It's not we are eating prasadam. So we should honor prasadam. So that change in consciousness from enjoyment to service is the essence of this verse. So the Lord is supplying everything to us. Water, fresh air, everything is coming from Krishna. And the beauty of the Lord is he doesn't send you when he sends the air and water and everything. He did not send you the bill, right? After 3 months or 6 months. You consume so much cubic meter of oxygen. Come on, pay. No. He just wants you to love him. That's all. Bhakti, that is only way. By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhu bhayavacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo. The good Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for this opportunity.